Okay, you can do it by yourself, but they've got anti-tank guns. So they're going to take out your guns. The only way we can take them out is we all have to go together. Coordinated attack from all four sides. How can we do it?
It's very far away.
We're far away, so I can't see you.
Oh, just that's all of you guys that go first and then afterwards.
Okay. Welcome to the Money Badger, specializing in blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Right now, we're at a unique time where there's a lot of connections going between Silicon Valley and China. With me in the studio, I have two really smart, bright students who have joined me from China. So we're going to be talking to them about what they learned and also where they think this trend's going, and just explaining to our viewers what is blockchain, what is cryptocurrency. So please welcome Tom and Roy here with me. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Money Badger.
Yeah.
You guys having fun here?
Yeah, very fun.
What made you want to learn about cryptocurrencies and blockchain?
Yeah, at first I want to learn the principle and the application about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and I learned it.
You learn the principle and you learn the applications?
Yeah. You show me lots of video and
yeah,
it let me know this.
Helped you learn. So let's kind of recap what you learned. What is blockchain?
Blockchain?
Yeah.
I think it's a kind of cryptocurrency, and the Bitcoin it's his product like this.
Blockchain is the technology that runs Bitcoin.
It's technology.
And what's another cryptocurrency?
Another Ancimol? No.
Like Ethereum?
Ethereum.
Remember we learned?
Yeah.
And how about you, Roy? What did you have fun in the class?
Oh yeah, yes. The class is very fun, and for me, I think Bitcoin is a really new technology for me, and I think I learned a lot from it.
So when you go back, you have one more year, a senior year in school to finish up?
No, 2 more years.
2 more years?
Yeah.
What's your degree going to be in?
The graduated.
Graduate school?
Yeah.
In what degree?
I don't know how to say that. Under the master degree.
Yeah, master's degree in engineering?
No, probably like this.
And Roy, what are you studying?
I'm studying communication engineering now.
Okay.
And then maybe in the future, I'll be a programmer, I think. I'm more interested in that.
What about a blockchain developer or a blockchain programmer? Do you think
that will be a good choice for me too, because I think I can write some code for the blockchain too, maybe become one of the group which maintain the safety of blockchain.
Yeah, there's a huge need for blockchain engineers, blockchain programmers, and also quality to go in there and maintain the code.
Yeah.
So excellent field. I think you'll have great employment opportunity going ahead. And what about you? Do you think you will end up working in the blockchain or crypto space?
Maybe in the future I will studying in Silicon Valley, maybe worked.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me, but I will try my best to do it. And I want to learn computer science. Yeah, I want to combine the blockchain with artificial technology, maybe.
But wait, you told me you wanted to hodl gang, because you wanted to get a Lambo, right?
Yeah, I want to that.
So you're waiting for the price to go to the moon.
Yeah.
I think cryptocurrencies will have a pretty good future going forward. And we're all excited about the technology, but there's also a tremendous collaboration where we're seeing this innovation center in Silicon Valley, but then we're seeing a lot of applications and use in China, and
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of room for us to really team up Silicon Valley and China and work together to help bring the blockchain world. And I'm excited because I think it's something that can really improve the world and make it better.
Yeah. It can change the world.
Yeah.
definitely.
So we also looked at a couple other programs and applications. We looked at IBM's Hyperledger.
Yeah.
So Roy, you had some pretty good feedback on Hyperledger. Do you remember we were talking about it and we were discussing centralized versus decentralized? What do you?
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, I think because the blockchain and the Bitcoin is a new technology for all of us, so maybe sometimes we try to find more advantages or more chance for a way to apply this technology to as more as we can in various kinds of fields. Like IBM, they try to use blockchain in their industry, so maybe they think they can maintain their security, I think, but I think sometimes maybe the centralized system would be hard to control. So if you have some problem in it, maybe you need a center to fix the problems with a higher efficiency. Maybe centralized system, you can't handle the problems very well or very quick. So maybe that would be a problem, I think.
Right, the decentralized system, there's no center of control, so you can't call customer service. You don't have support to help you if there's a problem. But with the centralized system, you do have one group that's in control,
Yeah.
which has some advantages and disadvantages. And some of the advantages are if you want to change something or get it fixed, you have a central power or control that you can go to.
Yeah.
But then again, some of the disadvantages are too, and they could control and censor, and so it depends on the application.
Yeah.
So for certain businesses, it might make more sense to have centralization and to have a smaller control group rather than to be truly decentralized.
Yeah.
Some are looking at private blockchains versus public. Public would be like anyone in the world could participate. Private would be more, I think IBM's looking at, okay, we'll just have a set group of people in our supply chain that can have inputs, and we'll kind of control it. So it's not fully decentralized in terms of being distributed around the world, but it's decentralized in having multiple entities that are inputting data. So
So maybe the IBM just want to use several advantages of the blockchain to help them to achieve some aims, I think. Maybe they don't want all the characters of the blockchain, I think. Yeah.
yeah, blockchain is a really popular buzzword right now. So everyone's trying to get in on it. They're trying to understand how to use this technology. But one of the things we did discuss too, it's not all applications out there really need a blockchain, and it's not suitable for everything. So we talked about some alternatives to blockchain, and one of the properties of blockchain is called immutable. So you have a ledger and you can't go in and change that record, but we can also have immutability from other technologies. There's third-party signatures where you don't really have to go and have a fully distributed ledger around the world. Depending on the application, for certain applications, just having a third-party signature system might be a lot more efficient and make more sense. We did also, I mean, when we talk about efficiency, we're talking about a proof of work. So you guys both analyzed and did a little research on a proof of work versus proof of stake. So what's the difference?
Well, I think if you use a proof of work protocol, this protocol would award the first one who solves the mathematical problems, and he will get get 1 Bitcoin. Maybe one. Well, I don't.
More the mining reward.
Mining rewards. Well, but for proof of stake, it's no matter if you the first one who solved the problem. It would be decide about how much coins you have, your wealth, or how many times variations you have done. So the proof of stake would be much more energy safe. So the man who tried to use the proof of stake, we want to save more energy since the proof of work it would cost a lot of energy since it requires your computer, your CPU, your GPU, and it requires must have very high calculation capabilities. So maybe both of them have their own advantages, I think.
Yeah, I think you really nailed that. Both have certain applications and advantages. Proof of work, it's a lot more energy. It takes a lot more energy, but then it has some advantages as the original Bitcoin application ran it. And proof of stake also has, has a little bit of advantages and can be more power efficient.
Yeah.
So who's Satoshi Nakamoto?
He created blockchain, and it's like a creator, but we don't know who is this guy. Maybe a team, maybe a group, but
Or maybe a woman.
Yeah, I guess it's an alien. Maybe an alien group.
It could be an alien group from another planet that wanted to bring blockchain to the planet, so they just wrote this white technical paper and released it. So yeah, I think I mean, it's really pretty interesting technology when you think of it. So this blockchain is the fundamental technology that Bitcoin runs on, and it was originally for this decentralized, censorship-resistant currency.
Yeah.
But now businesses and other people are saying, well, there's some cool stuff on that blockchain and we can use part of it. So we want to get in on that and change the way our business works. Okay, so in simplest terms, I said blockchain. Do you remember the definition we used for the simplest terms?
No.
Blockchain, it's software to replace the middleman. So like when we start, it's like
no third party.
No middleman, right? We've got a trust system. So you guys even studied the trust. What do you remember? Day one we talked about Byzantine generals problem.
Yeah.
So what do you remember from that?
Yeah, the Byzantine, general Byzantine problems, and the four general wants to attack the city.
Right, the city that has the walls on all four sides.
They want to go in the four direction, and they don't know. They don't know the other general when is this will attack.
Right, they don't know how to coordinate the attack.
They can't at the same time do the same things. You show me the video.
Yeah.
And it's a good video.
Yeah, I thought it really explains how Bitcoin solved this problem that's thousands of years old. The problem, how to coordinate all four armies outside so that they'd all have consensus and all know to attack, and they could all trust. Because it would be easy for them in the past to get a signal, but they don't know if they could trust that signal.
They don't need to trust the third part.
Right, because it's what's the technology? It's called a decentralized.
Yeah, it's not centralized.
Decentralized ledger technology. So what is a ledger? Recording. Do you remember what a ledger?
Ledger means record the date and information in a block.
Well, we're putting the information in the block, but the ledger is just a recording instrument. It records the transactions and you write a line. So we kind of talked about, well, if you guys went to lunch and you If you owed Roy money and Roy owed you money, you wanted to keep track of it, you started a little notepad, and Monday you paid, Tuesday Roy paid,
Yeah,
Wednesday
yeah.
I paid, Thursday we have to see who owes
Yeah,
what, so
yeah,
we
I
have a
remember
little
this.
notepad to keep track of that. And we started a ledger. So Bitcoin's a blockchain takes those ledgers and puts
In
them
a
into a
block,
packet of
a packet,
information
yeah.
called a block. And how often does the Bitcoin protocol add a block?
10 minutes?
Every 10 minutes,
Yeah,
right.
10 minutes.
But there's other ones out there, alternative coins, altcoins as we call them, such as Litecoin that add a block every, I think it's every
Every 2 minutes.
2 minutes,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
So there's different protocols and different systems that have advantages. So when you go back, are you gonna, I mean, what's your next step with, gonna go back and go to study? Are you gonna keep researching and reading up on blockchain?
Maybe I will do this at the same time.
Yeah.
I will keep studying and do more research about this.
And how about you?
Yeah, for me, when I go back, I will keep studying because there is also some course about the blockchain.
Yeah.
And I'd like to join that course, and maybe in the next semesters, I will do more research about the blockchain and the Bitcoin, and maybe I'd like to buy a little Bitcoin. Yes, that would be fun.
Yeah, so you can watch it and participate and learn more about it.
Yeah.
When you do, you have to get what's called a wallet.
Yeah.
And then you
wallet.
have, to manage that wallet, you have what?
Public key and the private key.
And what's the difference?
The private key is everyone knows this.
The public key
Public
everyone
key, yeah,
knows.
yeah. The private key.
Private.
Private key is no one, just to me.
So you have to keep that a secret.
Yeah, to keep
And
it
there's
secret.
different ways to do it. If you write it on paper, that's called a
It's called
cold storage.
cold storage.
or-
Story.
And then there's an offline wallet,
wallets.
and then there's a on your desktop wallet or
Is
on
it
your
hot
phone wallet.
Hot storage. Yeah.
What do you think the most secure way is?
Must be cold storage, I think. We write
On
the
paper, writing
yes.
it down on paper.
That's
Yeah.
most security.
If you
Hey.
not disappear.
Yeah. So, Roy, are there classes? You said there's classes you can take. I mean, is the university?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it,
That's a new class in my university.
they just started it?
Yeah, yes, started yesterday, yes.
Is it like blockchain theory, blockchain programming? Do you know?
It's maybe about the Bitcoin, I think. Yes, it's more about the application of blockchain and
Yeah.
some principle of Bitcoin, I think, and also some more deep research, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I think that'd be really good if you went back and took some classes.
Yeah.
It's good the university's offering them because
That's
it's
really,
going to be such a huge opportunity in the future.
Yeah.
It's actually already. And the faster you can get up to speed and start coding, if you can code blockchain,
Well, that's
you'll have a lot of job opportunities.
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
And so right now, instead of joining a company, you might join something called an ICO, or there's initial coin offerings going on where people are coming up with ideas and they're getting together when they have a good founder and a good idea and getting a team together. They're raising funds through a process called a initial coin offering.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
And maybe you could help develop some programming for them that gave specific applications.
Yeah, that's be a good job, I think. Yeah.
What about you?
About
Do you want to take some classes on
Yeah, yeah.
programming or?
yeah, I know in the website I see the Bitcoin and the blockchain lessons from Berkeley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can download it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do a
yeah.
remote class,
Yeah.
unless you come back, of course, and then you do it in person.
Yeah.
What does your school in China have any? Have you seen any Bitcoin blockchain courses offered?
Yeah, we have the next semester.
Yeah.
It's new.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe the principle about this.
Yeah. So it sounds like they're pretty, I mean, there's a movement in China to get the universities up to speed to help get the students trained on this new technology. Is that right?
Yeah.
Are your friends, your colleagues there, is everyone interested in blockchain?
Well, I think some students, maybe my friends,
Yeah.
I know few of them know the really principle of Bitcoin. I think they
Yeah.
only knows, maybe they only knows Bitcoin can earn some money. I think they don't know the application of blockchain. But I think as the time goes on, maybe we have a deeper. Maybe we'll have deeper research about Bitcoin and all the others, like my friends and like the other students, they can also learn some principle of Bitcoin, I think.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Remember, we studied there's 7 network effects of Bitcoin. The first of the network effects is speculation, and that's where people buy it because they want the price to go up.
Yeah.
But that's only one of 7 of the network effects. Some of the others were what? Do you remember?
Some others,
Merchant adoption.
merchant adoption.
There's a list of 7 network effects that we covered. At the very end, the last one is world reserve currency. So eventually we'll get a blockchain cryptocurrency that people around the globe use as a world reserve currency.
Yeah.
If I want to send money overseas, it's kind of funny because right now it's like if you use a bank, it's overseas remittance where you're sending it over. But if I send you an email, no one says, "Hey, I'm writing I'm sending you an email to China. This is an overseas email that I'm writing."
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. I don't think in the future we'll think of money the same way. It'll just be, yeah, I'm sending you money. It's like I'm going to write you an email.
Yeah.
I'll add an attachment and send it to you. Like no one would ever imagine. It's going to be an overseas email. There was a time when we used to go to send letters in the mail, and that time you would go to the post office and you'd have to fill out a
Yeah,
form
yeah.
because you're sending it overseas.
To wait a long time.
Right, yeah, it was slow. I used to write some letters overseas and they could take 3-4 weeks and
Maybe long.
maybe longer, right. But that's kind of where our money system is now. It's still like we're going to you go to the bank or you do a wire
Yeah.
transfer, it's going to take
Complicated.
3 days. A lot of times it takes 3 days in the US to go from one bank to the other, but if you go overseas, it's at least 3, if not more,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why don't we use the new technology? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who wants to send a letter and wait for it to clear customs and give it 3 weeks, 4 weeks to reach China when I can just email you and have it be there in a minute or less?
Yeah.
So I think that it's like people need to realize it is sort of the internet of money or the email of money where we can just go and have control. And if I want to send some funds around, well, you don't have to wait. So another term we talked about, and this might be less applicable to some in China, but it was banking the unbanked, which was kind of a cool sounding word. Banking the unbanked means that we're going to help people that don't have bank accounts. So right now to get a bank account, there's a long list of information you need, and if you're in certain countries, you might not have all the information you need for a bank account. And we can bring people into the cryptocurrency world. They can get a cryptocurrency account and really participate in the global economy. So that's pretty exciting. Of course, the flip side, some people are saying unbank the bank.
Unbank the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, someone who owns the account, but they don't use that bank account, they can also try to use some Bitcoin to replace him. Yes, I think it's also a good method, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a good way to.
So, I mean, are you guys pretty happy to come here? Are you going to come back next time and really have some, what's the next step for you guys?
Next up, after this.
Yeah, you're going to go, do you think you'd work on a startup company, or do you want to work with someone with a new idea to change the world, or just want to get your degree and...
Maybe recently I want to keeps searching
Yeah.
about this, and I'm very interested about the application about this, and maybe raise more money
Yeah.
by using this technology. But this is very young, maybe a few years ago.
Yeah, I tell people, I mean, you want to do your homework, you want to be careful, but also you want to just get a small, tiny bit of money to put in there, because it's like you have to get an email. When you sent your first email, you had to get an email account. You had to learn how to put in an email address. You had to learn how to hit the send button and send the email to someone. And then you had to learn how do you put an attachment on there. So this technology is kind of similar. You have to learn how do you get your public address? How do you get a wallet set up? How do you store it? How do you keep that secure? How do you send it a little bit of Bitcoin or currency to someone? So there's a learning curve. So rather than to just put all your money and speculate that it's gonna moon, instead of that, you should just really put a little bit in just to familiarize yourself. What's it really like? How do you send it to someone, and how do you receive it? So that's something I encourage people to just to play around a little bit to familiarize themselves. And it's common to make some mistakes too. A lot of people have lost tons of money because they threw out hard drives that had their private keys on them, and they weren't able to recover. There's been a lot of money lost in the Bitcoin community, so you want to make sure you stay very educated and familiar with it. So do you have any pets?
Yeah, I have one.
What kind?
A cat.
What's your cat's name?
Like the name is called tangyuan. It's a Chinese food.
Ah, what kind of food is that?
It's a sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's when we have after the New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a day we will guess the mystery in the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will eat this.
Oh, that sounds good. Do you have a pet?
No, I haven't,
No.
but really want to have one. Yes. as
What
a-
kind do you want?
Panda.
No, panda.
Your
That's
panda's your
that's
favorite
illegal.
animal.
That's illegal in China. Yeah.
How do you say panda in Chinese?
熊猫
And
Yeah.
how do we say your name in Chinese?
罗子玉 Yeah, it's really tough to call. Yeah.
And Roy's a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
How about you, Tom? How do we say your name in Chinese?
曾丽帆 in China. Yeah, it's a tough.
Yeah, I'll
too.
stick with the English version there.
Yeah.
Well, I want to wish you both the best of luck. Any words you want to tell the viewers in China? We're just about out of time, but you want to say anything real quick to the folks in China?
The Mexican food is good.
Oh, you enjoyed the Mexican food here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. It's been really fun getting to know you, and I want to wish you both the best of luck going forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. So come on back, and when you get that Lambo, we'll go for a ride.
Yeah.